The Rock Whisperer. Do you hear the earth talking to you?
Section 7-9, Soil Formation. So we've talked about this in a little bit in class, and we've seen it in some of the videos. But soils are formed because of the breakdown of rock. But also you need to have biological activity. So we need to have roots, you have to have decaying plants, you need to have worms. Those are important for helping break up the soil and parts of the rock too. And soil is very important because without soil, you wouldn't have anything to support the rooted plants. So it's kind of that combination there. You need to have soil to have rooted plants, and those rooted plants help to produce more soil. We've already talked about this, and we've talked about the two different types of soil. We can have residual soil. It's made up of the bedrock that's already there, has the same characteristics, or transported, that it's been brought in from another area and has different characteristics than the bedrock. So when we look at soil, we can talk about the different horizons. In the Bill Nye video we saw had a good example showing some of the different horizons. Usually we refer to horizon, the A, B, and C horizon, but there's a whole list of actual horizons that we can talk about. So throughout time, soil develops downward. This was all originally rock, and eventually it will get down to the bottom, down into the R horizon. Each horizon is the distinctive zone that has specific characteristics. So the A horizon is full of humus or dark. It's rich in nutrients. It's a top layer that we're going to grow our plants in. The B horizon is the subsoil that we have. Now that might have a little bit more clay, has some other stuff, and it will be have leached minerals, which means that as the water is running through the top part of the soil, it will leach and bring those minerals down and then bring some of them out. And then the C horizon is actually still bedrock. It might be broken up a little bit, but there are still large chunks of bedrock. An immature soil has only two horizons, where a mature or older soil will have 3 or more horizons. So how do scientists decide what type of soil is, or where it is, and what are their characteristics? There's a lot that can go into that and the different horizons. So in this diagram here, we can see that we're looking at the percentage clay, percentage silt, and percentage sand. When we look at those different things, we can then classify what type of soil that might be. Here's a picture just showing many different types of soils and what they look like. And that, again, that's depending on what they're made from and how much clay, silt, and sand there are. So in a forest, you're going to have very fertile and rich soil. Why? Because you have a lot of organic material, you have a lot of leaves and plants and animals and in that particular area. And that's going to help to enrich that particular soil. In a desert, you're actually going to have a large salt content because any water you have, water is going to evaporate, and what's left behind is the salt. Also, you don't have a lot of organic material in that particular area. And you would think that tropical might be a really good place to grow things because of in its soil. And actually, it's not. It's actually relatively infertile. There's very little humus in there because there's so much water that it gets washed away. And it says leached here. The minerals are being leached away. There's so much precipitation that it rains, and as that rain filters through the ground, it's taking all the minerals away and all the important nutrients. So it is a hard place to grow things. And the last slide here talks about some of the factors to develop soil. So I had the list, and then I found this diagram that kind of shows the same thing. So how do we determine what our soil is going to be like? Well, 1, it depends on our climate. 2, what type of organisms are in that particular area? 3, what is the relief? Is it a mountain area? Is it a valley? That will have an impact on what's going on. What's the parent rock? That's going to tell us something about the mineral composition. And then the last one is time. How long has it taken for that soil? Has it only been a few years? Has it been hundreds or thousands of years for that soil to form? So lots of different things that go into that process that gives us the different properties for our soil that we just formed.
Don't forget to listen to the earth. You just may hear it speak.